Alright guys, today I'm going to do the in-depth review of the Hoover Empower vacuum. I hope you guys enjoy, and let's get to it. So starting out with the base here, it has, every one of these dots is a height adjustment. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 height adjustments, which is kind of average. To me, the bare minimum is 3. If you got less than 3, that's kind of concerning. But most vacuums are automatic height adjustment now, so no one really cares about this. So this also has the wide path base over here. There's a big chunk of plastic missing out of it. That doesn't actually affect the performance because the whole thing is actually in a separate piece. So there's a clear housing around the brush roll, so this is just covered. I could take this off and the vacuum would still work. See, it's 2 separate pieces. Pop that back into place. But since that's broken, this screw over here doesn't hold in, but there's still a screw over here. But anyways, this is the one of many variants of this machine. A lot of them can't, sorry about that, family comes at the worst times. So these machines did not have a rubber bumper on them, but you know, as long as you didn't jab into things. Believe it or not, that rubber bumper is actually mostly to protect the machine, not your furniture. A lot of people don't know that. But the rubber kind of prevents your plastic from cracking. That's why some companies use it. Some companies just didn't, and well, look where it got us. So, the Hoover Empower was a very interesting machine, and I wanted to do a review on it because these are one of the machines that most collectors hate. They just hate them. I really don't know why. This is one of the better Hoovers in my opinion, but, you know, anyways, let's just continue. So I did get the manual out for you guys. I got this manual secondhand. I saw it on eBay, and I'm like, well, I do have a Hoover Empower, so why not? So I picked this up, and it has everything in it. There is a little cut in it, because I started cutting the packaging without realizing the manual was in there. I kind of forgot, and I cut into the manual a little bit, but I taped that up. I scored this for $9. I was pretty happy about that. Came with the original, you know, just the very important, like, make sure you know this type stuff manual. A lot of this stuff in here is completely useless stuff you're never really gonna realize or even need. So set this aside. This does have the twin chamber system. This one in particular does not have a little spinny thing. Some of the twin chamber systems had a little thing that you could spin and it would help clean the filter off. But this, just pop that off, and then this filter and the screen will slide right out. I will say this was a lot better than, say, maybe Abyssal Clean View of the time. This machine in particular was a 2004. At least that's what me and my friend gathered. These are still sold in a different variant, called the Hoover Hush Tone. But this is your cartridge filter, is what they call it. It kind of just spins in here. There's a very hefty rubber seal. This is probably the original one, the original filter to this machine. I do have a replacement on the way. But you can see after many years, it's actually still in fairly decent condition. I want to replace it just because this one is in just a few spots starting to kind of tear. It doesn't let any dust through, but still. You are not supposed to wash these, so don't wash them. Personally, I have washed this one multiple times, and it's still fine. I only did that once, though, just to get the smell out. To get a genuine one of these can get up to $20 if you buy it locally. I recommend just buying a generic one online. They all do the same thing. Just make sure they have this rubber seal. Some of them I hear come with a plastic seal on the bottom, and I'm like, well, how the hell was that going to work? This in particular is the one that came with the blue stained plastic, I mean. Some of these came in red, purple, blue, or red, purple, orange, green. The green was the most common. And then one of them just came in just clear, just standard. Sorry. So yeah, I'm gonna get this back in. This hole goes down. And then just make sure you get the there's two little, obviously, ridges on the sides, and then you got the little grooves on here, little cams. So you just want to make sure you get those lined up. And then it slides right into place. Make sure you have it in there properly. Otherwise, this won't seal properly, and you could get dust into the motor and then back out into your air. These things actually do filter quite well. If this seal is in good condition out here, which in this case it is, it's a nice rubber seal. These things don't leak much dust unless you don't keep them clean. But I have not once seen this thing spew out dust or anything. And this filter doesn't get dirty as everyone makes it seem, because there could be dust up to here, filled up in here, and it'll still have plenty of suction and airflow. So basically, just don't let the dust get past here, and you're good. And then it's just a matter of holding it over a trash can, and then just sliding that out while it's in a trash bag or in a trash can. And it's not that hard. I mean, people make it seem a lot worse than it is. Sometimes this doesn't like to go in. So there you go. Another hefty rubber seal right here where the bin sits. I don't know what Hoover was thinking when they made this rectangular. Well, that was the thing with the twin chambers, was this rectangle that kind of wrecks airflow. Same with the rectangular bin. But this is still rounded enough for it to have good airflow and suction. And obviously this is round. And then this is oval, so fair enough, the little air vent in here. Yet again, nice hefty rubber seal. None of that foam seal that some of the new machines have. And this just pops right back on in. It's very easy. Bottom first, and then you just press this big blue button right here. See how easy that goes in, yet it seals well. Sorry, my face is very scratchy. Has some pretty big wheels. These help with maneuverability. They spin quite well until there's weight on them, and then they don't really like to spin that freely. My apologies. But if you're just vacuuming, you don't really notice. But if you're just like rolling it, you kind of notice that the wheels have some resistance to them. But they don't really affect you that much. They're actually a two-piece setup. I haven't even figured out how to take them apart. Otherwise, I'll clean them and lubricate them, and they'll probably spin better. This machine would have come with an extension one over here, and some of them came with a turbo brush that would just sit right on top of the extension one. This one is not only missing all the attachments, but it's also missing the two brackets that hold the extension one in. And then back here you would have a, it says right on here, this would have been your upholstery tool on this bottom one, top one would have been your dusting brush. And then you have your quick release core thing, just go down like that. And it only allows you to go one way. If you try to go the other way, there's these two little stoppers preventing you from doing so. And these are pretty sturdy. They have some looseness in them to make it so you can rotate it easily, but I've never seen one of these Hoover ones break like I have on the Eurekas of the time. We do have kind of a funky airflow path here. We've got, here's the air duct. I never liked this because stuff can get stuck in here. Say you vacuum up a coin, which these were kind of commercial based, so they should have designed this to be able to suck a coin. It's not a direct air machine, so a coin wouldn't hurt it, but they get stuck in here because almost any machine, if this is here, no machine can pull a coin up this. Not because the coin is too heavy, because the shape of the coin, too much air can leak around it. If the coin was a little bit bigger, then it would go up because there would be enough vacuum, but there's not enough vacuum. With any coin, you know, it would probably suck up like $50 or something just fine. Right, here's your foot release. It's very easy. It's spring-loaded by a piece of plastic, just like the Bissells of the time. And I think Eurekas were the same story, but this is probably the original one and it's still not broken. There's two positions. It goes pretty flat, as you can see. that's the first position, and then that's all the way up. Right here is obviously the hose hooked up to this funky duct. This does have the standard, I believe that is a 1/4 and an inch, or an 1.25 inch fitting. So I think other vacuum brand attachments will fit on here. I think Dirt Devil will fit on here. I don't think Eureka will fit on here. Bissell won't fit on here, I don't think. It doesn't help that it's got these funky notches, because I guess some of these older Hoovers actually came with an extension hose, and then it would go right in and then turn, and then you would have a longer hose. See, it is a clear hose. I did just wash this before the review, so mine's pretty clear still. It's kind of yellowed, but it's actually a very nice quality hose. You can see it goes pretty high up, like fairly high to the light. So nothing wrong with that, and it is very slinky. It's very maneuverable. It's not like one of those stretch hoses that's basically useless because it's so shitty built. I have one of those, for example. Here's the hose off my Eureka Power Speed, and it is at least better than a plastic hose, but it's so like stiff and hard to stretch that it's not really that enjoyable to use. And you can see this is after a fresh wash too, and it's still not clear. This is what, a 17-year-old machine, fresh wash, clear. So that just shows that they use a better rubber as well. Whatever kind of rubber this is, stuff just gets very stuck to it. And that Power Speed is only not even a year old, so. This cord, I think, is the average 25-foot cord. With your, I don't even know what material they're made out of, but they're kind of like brass plated or bronze plated. These older style ones bend really easily, but these ones are actually okay. You can see here, it's a fairly well built cord. You know, it's not one of those plasticky ones. The way these ones are made, these older ones are made, is they won't scratch the corners of your walls when you're going around a wall or something. A lot of these newer ones, they're kind of too plasticky and they'll leave a residue on your wall. This is the original cord, and whoever owned it before me, did nick it. I just wrapped it in electrical tape and it's been fine since. But the rest of the cord is in good condition. Whoever actually owned this actually did take decent care of it, because that's about the only flaw wrong with it, besides clearly the extension wand holders that fell off. The rest of the attachments are missing. And then somehow the adjustment wheels were missing too. But so this here just pushes down. It's a little flap, so that when you're using the hose, say, or dirt under the brush roll, nothing shoots out of here. Just put that down. So that was the hose. These do get kind of loose over time. Mine's pretty loose. What some people end up doing is they'll just wrap some electrical tape around this, and that'll make it just a little bit bigger, and then this will fit on there tighter. I did that with my Lightspeed, Eureka Lightspeed. Yet again, does have a little window here. I don't know if I mentioned that before. Underneath, here's the adjustment wheels I bought for it. They fit on just fine. I'm not sure what exact M-Power they came off of, but they were from an M-Power, and I paid $10 for them. So total, I've only spent like $20 on this machine. Because I think this manual is like $9. I talked them down to $9, but this is not a acquisition. This is a review. Here's the brush roll. It's a very big round brush roll, and this is one of Hoover's better brush rolls that they had done. But yeah, I believe this machine was made in November of 2004. That's what me and my friend are guessing. But I'm not sure if I'm reading that properly. That's just going off the serial number, and I'm reading it as much as it makes sense. Either that, or it was made on April of 2011. So, I'm not sure. This belt is kind of slipping. So yeah, very well built brush roll. Let's see. They're stiff, dense, and this has separate bearings on each side. You can replace them, or you can replace the end caps as well, or just get a whole new brush roll for like 20 bucks. But this is the original brush roll. I know that because it has the green bristles instead of the replacement white bristles, or gray bristles, or yellow. Sorry. So, I know that's the original one, and it still spins very nicely. The wheels, you can see kind of how that little thing down here, oh, you guys can't really see, but that's where that little hose thing is. Kind of rides down here. Just gonna get something to drink here. Oh gosh. So yeah, that's that. There is a post motor filter in here to get at it. There's 2 screws, one right there, one right there. But since this is blue, it actually makes the headlight blue, which is kind of neat. So yeah, just 2 screws, and then there's just a little piece of foam in there. But most of the shit gets caught by the twin chamber filter, which a lot of people think these things just blow dust all over the place, but just about nothing gets past that twin chamber filter. When I took this thing down to the motor, there was almost nothing in there. So now I'll show you guys the upper half of the machine. So this does have something kind of taken from the Hoover foldaway. It's basically Hoover foldaway is what this is with the twin chamber technology. So that folds up and down. I don't do it very often because there is wires in this handle, so I don't really do it that often. But it is actually a fairly well built system, and it's very sturdy. This whole machine doesn't flex at all. It's actually a very well built machine, very well put together. It creaks a little bit. That's just from age. So here's a switch. That's on. That's just standard. It's just, you know, just on. Then the middle is off, and then the lowest is hush tone. And then up here you have power boost, and then you can lock it in power boost or just get some power real quick. The power boost rises the power up to the same thing on each setting. So yeah. One screw right there, and one screw over there, and then 2 underneath here to remove this plate. And then you gotta remove that clear thing too to get the brush roll off. I will eventually do a service video on this machine as well, and then I will show you how to do that in that video. So yeah, that's about it on this machine. I will run it for you guys real quick, and that'll be it. It's perfect. So that was hush tone. Here's normal. can see, after all those years, this thing still runs pretty good. And even after vacuuming with my CleanView original, the original CleanView, I still picked up some stuff, some coarser debris. I vacuumed with the CleanView first because I didn't want this thing to get dirty, because I had just cleaned it, but so yeah, hope you guys enjoyed this review, and stay tuned for more videos. Thanks.